It's amazing. It's like they can count to 10. Hi, you're back with us in 700 horsepower. And tonight we're playing Kingdom. Though, why I've done it with an exclamation point kind of confused me. Like, Family Matters. It's probably going to be exciting. Back me up, guys. Come on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hey, woo!
Huzzah.
That's so much better. All right. As usual, we have a surprisingly large group here.
That's what she said.
That is actually what she said. Twice. 3 times to me last night, actually. She was like, man, that's surprisingly large as a group.
And then the cock crowed, I'm sure.
3 times. And she put her hand in my side and grabbed my liver. It was awkward. So tonight, we're playing Kingdom, which is probably one of the greatest RPG designs of all time. I know that's some big talk. That is some really big talk.
Oh, we never hear lots of big talk from Alex.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Never.
It's
Bold
published
statement,
It's
Alex.
published by Lame Mage Publications. It's written by Ben Robbins, and if you've been following us before, you know that that's the same dude who does Microscope, which is a game that we've already played.
There we go.
Kingdoms.
Woo, woo.
See how it all works. It rolls together into one.
Yeah, just to run down what a kingdom is, it's a group. It's a group that's larger than just 5 or 6 people. It's 20, 30, 100, 200, several million, quintillions of people. It could be anywhere in there. It could be the crew of a ship. Could be the population of a city. It could be any number of things. But they're all referred to as kingdoms. What we'll end up doing is making it together, and then possibly burning it right down to the damn ground, which is one of my favorite things to do. The folks on the stream can see me flipping through the book right now. I am so pleased to mention that this book is very attractive, and the very small format, and extremely readable. Also for sale and available to be purchased right now. It'd be a good thing if you went and bought it if you were intrigued by what you see today, which is kind of fantastic. I made the command decision earlier that we're actually going to be playing something regarding to the Langstroth. You know, I can speak English. The Langstroth family, which is all Kiyomi's fault. Kiyomi, own up to what you did.
I already did.
She's like,
She publicly confessed yesterday on the blog.
that is true. She did confess to that. Thank you. Now you can be forgiven. Folks on the stream can see the timeline from our Microscope game, particularly focusing on the early timeline before the Machinos period, which comes fairly later, actually. I thought we'd probably drop this in right here, where the rise of the bee-centric culture in North American Western city-states starts, and right before the Langstroth's family use of bee neurotoxins and royal jelly for human augmentation become widespread. It seemed like a good place for you guys. You know?
So when it's sort of unique,
yeah.
and they're the weird freaks.
They
Hey
are.
now.
They are the weird freaks.
We have an appreciation for weird freaks. Come on.
Oh god, yes. Just to get an idea of where we're at in time, we actually have genetic mutants beginning to appear in Eastern Europe, and volcanic activity in Australia has started a great global cooling period. Also, there are some bipedal lizards, who were previously living underground. That's sometime before this. Whether or not they're actually an issue for us, well, you know what? That could be an issue for us. Just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page, looking at the timeline, because that's how I like it. You guys excited so far?
Hell yeah.
I like the way this sounds.
Stuff.
The volcanic activity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the period before the one we're in?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's non-apocalyptic, just post-apocalyptic.
But I know. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah. It's starting to cool down, or could be completely cool. It's hard to say. Whatever we decide.
So we're in the all about stuff period.
Yep. And I figure just to keep things relatively central, we're probably somewhere in northwestern Nevada. You know, there's some trees and some towns and cities and stuff out there, but not a whole lot. I was thinking they had their own compound. That's the way it goes. Amazingly, I already have character sheets set up. Everybody should have access to one that we'll be filling out. But we can't start there. We got to start a little bit before that. In fact, everyone should also have a copy of the microscope reference sheet in their Google Docs directory.
Or we can say kingdom reference sheet, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. God, so much force I have it. What do you do? So yeah, I've got a reference sheet. People at home can see it right now. We'll be referring to that on and off all evening as I point that out.
I guess I should pull up my reference sheet too.
You probably should. It'll make your life a lot easier.
God, go to the place. Do the thing.
With the stuff? Oh yeah.
Not really. Why are you not... Why? Don't do that to me.
I have to do it to you.
Not you.
I have to. It's my job. So let's talk about the kingdom. Let's talk about what's going on.
Was malfunctioning.
It's all right. Let's talk about the kingdom. Let's talk about where we'd like to go with the stuff that's going on here. There's a checklist at the beginning of the reference sheet that really, it starts with what is your kingdom. I've got a kingdom concept sort of jotted into our doc right now. But, you know what? It's probably something we need to talk about first, because you guys could have some input. I'm not your GM, damn it.
Indeed. Down with the non-GM.
That's it.
I'm actually up with the whole non-GM thing. I think it's more fun than having a GM sometimes.
No, I'm just saying down with Alex. Although not a GM.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I think everybody's on the same page together for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just shaking
More
my head.
seriously.
So our kingdom concept that Alex alluded to, but I don't think read out, is the Langstroth family central hive and the people, or beeple, who live therein.
That's right.
Don't.
Beeple. I just thought, it would be kind of cool. It seems to be the setup, so I was thinking maybe some sort of compound that a village sort of grew around, / small city. It seemed like the sort of thing as a hive concept. I don't know what you
Now,
guys
I do
think.
need to...
Making stuff
Yeah.
up.
I like it, but I do need to point out, for those viewers who are watching this in and around 2014 or so, in that era of public interest, people are not actually fans of Justin Bieber. No. These are people who have done some weird crossbreeding and or genetic mutations relating to and including half bee forms.
That's right.
Sounds the same to me.
Yeah, as you can see on the timeline, we have some hybridization that's going to be coming up. God only knows what's going to happen here. It's terrifying.
Of course, the theme song for this episode has to be "I'm a Bee."
Oh no! I refuse to give will.i.am any credit for anything, including breathing. The only thing that man has done of any merit has been stand next to Fergie and maybe touch her butt.
I don't know. He's made a lot of money.
If that's our only level of judgment, we're in real
Well,
trouble.
if it's taking money away from people,
For America.
sure.
As a person, as an artist, he should be half bee. That's what I say.
I
Ipso
know.
facto, half must not be. Yeah, no ipso facto jokes here. So,
Yeah.
right.
Just gonna let that hang.
If there is anything you would like to throw out on the concept, now is a good time to be doing that.
I think I'm okay with
Well,
the
yeah. So, just kind of centering this in an actual chronological sense, sort of, not really, but based on where you're putting this is as the Langstroth's family is kind of developing the uses of the neurotoxins and etc.
Yeah, it's not
Bee
fully
jellies
worked
and such.
out.
They're doing weird shit. They aren't known for doing quite all of that weird shit.
And it may not be as successful as it will
And that's-
later be. Sound good?
Sure.
I like it. Seems a fun place to play around.
So we're all on the same page. I like that. It's good. Terry, how you feeling?
I'm all right, man.
Making sure.
I've been out of touch with the game, so I'm not sure a whole lot what's going on here, but the concept sounds cool.
Good. You picked a good place to rejoin us because Kingdom is insane and self-contained.
Not only that, we haven't played around in this space either, so we are making up completely new stuff. It's great.
Awesome.
It's true. All right, so we've kind of hammered out where we're at. Todd, anything you want to throw in on that?
No, I'm along for the ride on this. Never played Kingdom before and haven't even read the rules.
Oh my god! Thank God they're easy. It's going to be much simpler.
Guide me, Papa.
I shall show you the way. Follow me to the promised bee land. That's
The promised land?
Does that... Okay, so if you're Moses in this situation, does that make Eric Aaron?
yes, it does. Eric, pull out your rod.
I know.
That's what she said.
It's his ovipositor. He was washing it earlier a lot.
It's a fake one.
Anyway,
I will never get tired of his fake ovipositor.
he does. Yes.
His
For
prosthetic
those of you who are behind in your 700 horsepower viewing, go and watch our Happy Birthday Robot episode and laugh until you die.
It's quite possible. All right, so we've set up the kingdom. We know when it is. We know what's going on. That gives us a fine opportunity to come up to the next step of what it takes. We need to come up together as a group with 3 threats to the kingdom. Things that could destroy or destabilize the kingdom. That would upset the status quo. Not necessarily destroy it, but certainly change the nature of things. And that's a big deal. That's really significant because our characters need to have some things to work against, whether or not they are internal or external. These are threats that are on the horizon. They may never materialize, but they are lurking out there, and they also give us things to work on and against when we're building our crossroads. So, I love internal threats. I do. I know other people love external threats. Todd? The hive. The Langstroth hive. What do you think could be a really good threat?
Well, I'm looking at the microscope document, and I'm trying to place us in time relative to the sect of Joy V, because that's going to be a major turning point coming up.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit earlier than that.
Yes.
Are we a little too early for that?
It's earlier than that. It's thanks to the
I
way
don't have the microscope document. It was before the use of neurotoxins and whatever became widespread.
That's correct. So it is.
But the sect of Joy Vive could exist already.
I thought it was only founded later.
It doesn't talk about
It doesn't say that.
founded, just that she's part of it.
Ah.
Yep.
Actually, the event is that the sect of Joy Vive ends the religious wars, so they've been active before that.
Now, mind you, she
We haven't
was
had the
born.
religious war start, have we?
She's born with telepathic powers, so that's probably post the use of royal jelly.
It is the next period, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But the sect could be
Sure.
starting up.
sure.
We're in that. We're in that zone, I believe.
Are we in the B war zone?
And technically, the sect, no, the B Wars hasn't even started yet.
Okay, so it's probably before that. If they exist, it's probably within the society. It's probably within the Langstroths.
In fact, the B Wars don't even start until after the Langstroths began using bee neurotoxins and royal jelly.
Yeah.
And those techniques become widespread. So, the seeds of Joy Vive could certainly exist.
Seeds of Joy Vive.
That sounds like an organization in and of itself.
Or a bad movie.
Or a great porn.
Okay, so we're at about the point where bee-human psychic contact is just starting.
Yeah, the Langstroths are pioneering some of that stuff. Obviously, since they developed it.
Yes.
If the sect is named after a person,
It's true.
that could be.
I don't remember if we established that it was Joy Vive herself that ended those. I think we did, actually. Which would make the
we
sect.
never did. we left it pretty ambiguous as to
So-
what the sect was.
So, all right. So let's refocus on the threats to the hive as it stands.
Okay.
So we're before that period. We're before the bee wars, and in fact, we probably are before the bee sects. That's
That's what I think. I think you have to
Yeah.
get to the point where there's, the royal jelly and whatnot is widespread. You might get some weird contradicting or, contrasting beliefs within the Langstroth family, but
And
this isn't the thing.
And inter-character conflict never happens in Kingdom.
Oh no, never.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Spencer.
All right, so now that we've got ourselves localized around a bit, threats. We
The
need
microscope thing.
3.
Sorry.
It's in the microscope directory. It's in the world
I-
building directory.
I am okay.
Blames.
I just realized that based on where we're all sitting around the table, quote unquote, Kiyomi and I are going to have a fun bond again. That'll be great.
I know, and I'm disappointed. I wanted to be sitting next to Eric.
You guys can swap yourselves around. We haven't even got there.
Scooch over.
Fine.
Fine. Move around at the table. All right, come on.
Well, no, I can still
Shuffle,
sit
shuffle.
beside you, Spencer. I can go after you.
You guys are weird.
Well, this is all right.
All right, so
This will make it more interesting.
as I get back, you know what? I'm going to commit to a threat. If anyone wants to get on board with this, the increasing divisions between the secular and religious aspects of the interaction with the mutant bees are beginning to drive wedges between the hive members.
Secular versus religious apiotic culture.
That's right.
All right.
Apodiac, whatever.
But
Is this-
apodoetic?
Is this within the family?
It's hard
Yeah,
to say.
sure.
I mean,
I
okay, we're
think
saying
that's a general
this is-
internal. That's a
It's-
very broad one, but yeah.
Yeah, well, in
I
specific.
would
yeah.
offer this
But
extra.
it is a threat, which I like.
Yes, it's definitely a threat. I'd offer an external threat. Remains of the various militias that were part of the evacuations basically form the basis for an external loose government that wants to take over the region.
Okay.
Kind of a militaristic group.
All right, narrow that down for me a little bit.
Basically, just that there's a military wannabe government that wants to rule the area.
Oh, duh.
All right, that's good.
It's not bad. And if I can suggest another external threat, we just had the whole thing with the activity, the volcanic activity in Australia, is causing a global cooling period.
Hmm.
So I know it's a limited term threat, but these things don't have to be very long term. But we can have we're facing another long cold winter, and we don't want all the bees to die.
That's a good
It
threat.
might also be growing period stuff, although there was 2 periods back, it might still be an issue. Times are tough.
Yeah.
These
Well,
ain't
and
salad
it's
days.
only like you say, it's only one period back, really.
Yeah, those are
Still going on.
perfectly reasonable. I like the winter is coming is your threat.
Winter's been around a long time, more
Are
like.
you playing the quiet year?
Winter is hanging out. Maybe one day. The quiet year
Winter's
is on my
run
list
by.
of things to play at some point.
We could do it the other way if that's more interesting.
What?
Winter is ending, and so there's more bee activity.
Oh,
which
except
is-
that we know that winter is totally
Religious.
not ending. Or
Well, no, it said
Quite
that
a while.
period said it was a global cooling period, and then 2 periods later, that's what we're in.
We're only one period later, though.
1 full period, but that was 2 periods ago.
I thought that we pretty much established that even up to the Mashinas period, Nevada was a cold wasteland, not a hot deserty wasteland.
well, it's not.
I didn't think we had, but okay.
But
Well, chilly. Certainly not hot.
it's not as hot as it is right now.
Oh,
How
God.
about that?
Of course, that's less of a crisis thing. That's more times are tough. Times have been tough. Times will be tough.
So give me a
Well,
threat.
how about the
Go ahead.
okay, so it's still kind of cold, and the hive is concerned because the bees seem as though they're kind of gearing up to swarm, and that would be bad.
Yep, they'd leave.
That's a good threat. I dig that threat.
Hmm.
At some point, you guys have to commit to something.
Well, we've given.
I think
we want more to vie among.
Yeah.
I'm not right.
I think we should commit to there's a military presence building up in the area that wants to take control of all the everything.
All right. Would anyone care to name that military presence?
It was Eric's idea.
The Human League.
Don't
That
want this presence.
that could definitely give us a theme song.
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm down for that.
Although it says 3 total threats, I assumed we were going to have multiple. So
I am
Yes.
up for the Human League.
I like the Human League. I can't type really very well into the document, so you all have fun.
All right.
Sorry, I know it's a dereliction of my duties, but my
It's
computer is
okay.
crap.
All right. Todd has decided to usurp your position in the group as official typographer.
The Boydaic. That's fine.
I
I
guess
felt like we have it. So that's so.
we made up the
You're wrong. You're
word.
very honestly wrong.
No, Alex, you made up that word.
I didn't make that one up. That was Eric.
No,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no, it's not.
wasn't me.
It's not me.
Might have been me.
It's Todd. It's all his fault.
Okay, so the third threat.
Mm-hmm.
Swarm is coming.
Obviously, I like it since it was my suggestion, but
I'm good with it. It works for me.
Sounds good to me.
Because if all the bees, or even half of them go swarming, your delicate balance of doing stuff in the place where the hive still is, it's a mess.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Live for the swarm.
Serve the hive.
Hive. Serve the hive. Okay, this is getting
If any of us call ourselves Kerrigan,
Stop stealing Eric's ideas. All right, third threat. Let's get it on the page.
the bees may leave.
I still like swarm is coming. Or swarm is going.
They might leave us behind.
Behind.
Left behind. Oh.
Wait.
No.
I got it. Bazinga.
No.
That's terrible.
I know it's horrible. Bad.
So good.
Bad, and I should feel bad. In fact, I do.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So do we all.
All right. So that gives us a lovely opportunity. That gives us some threats on the page. And we'll have some more stuff going on here very shortly that we can all play off of. Let's talk about locations. Now, there's 6 of us. Holy crap. That means we have 12 locations here. Hopefully there's 12 locations in that file. Basically,
There should
each of
be.
us... Yeah, each of us gets to come up
I
with...
don't know, it feels like it might be 12.
Yeah, it feels like. Look, I don't count. You know, you guys have kept me from counting anymore. I'm not allowed. So each of us gets to pick one location and
Bukkake,
put
what
it
is
in.
that?
Say again.
Bukkake?
Bukkake.
What?
What?
Bukake.
There's no bukkake in swarming.
Mom is coming, going. You got
What the
this.
hell is wrong with you people? God, I can't take
I don't know who did that.
I can't take you anywhere.
I think that's kind of the point.
So, back to locations. As I was saying,
Oh God.
The top of the hive building. Which
go
is,
for
of
it.
course,
Since there is no particular order for us to come up with an idea, Eric, since you have volunteered, you walked out front, you go first. Vast, rectangular, brutalist. Of course it's brutalist.
It looks like a giant Langstroth beehive. Let's just put it out there.
Alright.
Okay.
I need to close the micrope
Go
thing.
for it.
So
Free up the memory for yourself. Terry, you have a location in mind? Someplace where characters could be found, or find one another, or find themselves.
Well, how about the laboratory where the experiments are being carried out?
Okay. Does it have a name? A room number? A place?
And it could be one of many.
It could be, easily.
Right.
It's L7. I'm full of music references tonight.
L7 works fine. That's great. Let's go with it.
Alright. Feel free to put that in there.
Alright.
Oh.
Next, empty, mindless soul.
Oh, don't we have a list here someplace?
Of empty, mindless souls?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Okay,
we should.
I got one.
Yeah?
The Reno Museum of Western
Torture?
Okay.
we know where Alex is going to be.
place up in Reno where they've kept all of these artifacts about how people used to lynch and kill each other back in the Wild West days. And they have like working guillotines and stuff like that.
Wow.
We established that Reno is sort of preserved, so yeah.
All I'm going to tell you is that is now definitely preserved.
Yep.
I have now put my imprimatur on it. And Key, I assume that's you that wrote the Queen's Chambers?
It was
That
actually
was
me.
not me.
Oh.
Notice the apostrophe. It was placed precisely.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Of course it was.
Okay. What is
Is this a nightclub in the town?
Whoa.
No, it's adjacent to the laboratory. Obviously, it's a giant hive, and there's more than one colony of bee, but we keep the queens in special places so that we can test them more effectively.
Okay.
Interesting. Makes sense.
Oh, well, I've got a location. Hold on.
I guess we are in Reno, apparently.
We're
Somewhere
actually
there.
not.
Where is Reno, anyway? I don't know where Nevada Reno is. I'd have to look it up.
It's northwest part of the state, not far from the California border, right by Lake Tahoe, if you know where that is.
That's actually pretty close where Alex was suggesting the Langstroths were. So.
Yep.
So we're somewhere near Reno. Reno proper might not be habitable because of the wild hives, but
And my location that I just dropped in is the Waggle, the local nightclub / mating center.
that's redundant.
That's what I mean, yeah. Cactus gardens.
Now, that probably is key.
It's a very romantic spot.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Uh-huh.
All the
Okay.
sand, prickly plants that want to kill you.
And the Langstroth family dining suite, just imagine it's like a little cafeteria place with good cooks, lots of nice food, and it's just for members of the very large, sprawling Langstroth family.
All right. I assume that Terry has jumped in, slotting it in at the bottom there. Sneaky.
Yeah, that's me. I didn't want to accidentally start typing where someone else wanted to, so.
Sensible.
Makes sense.
Okay. Hail P, huh?
Hall. That should be
Hall
two
P.
L's. It is.
Human sleeping quarters.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Yeah, I don't... Pod.
Yeah, I think I got one. Let's,
Like the little Japanese things. There's no
Yeah.
real
Ah.
bedrooms. It's great.
The cave. Underground meeting place. Oh dear. Oh,
That's where
the
Batman
Human
is.
League.
That's where they have their revolutionary meetings.
Of course. Does it look at all like Zion's parties?
No, it's actually a reference to Plato's cave.
Oh, well then
Aha,
Even
nice.
more disturbing.
have to be careful not to start a fire in the middle of it. Let's see. I think there's two of us who have not done a second. Me.
I have not done a
Okay.
second one.
See to it, fancy lass.
I'm going with the catacombs.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
How much after the initial apocalypse is this?
We're fairly far down. I mean,
I mean, if you could ballpark it in years.
well, we know
Some
Mashas
decades?
is somewhere between 150 and 250. This is before that. So, somewhere between 50 and 75. Well, somewhere between 50 and 150, probably.
Enough that there's probably nobody alive who was alive before the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the catacombs. Not only the lovely hand-carved resting place of dead Langstroths, but also the home of a large underground explosive fuel repository.
There's no way that's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Except we know Reno isn't destroyed.
I'm just
On the other
saying,
hand, we know some people moved into Las Vegas after that hive got annihilated, but
it's true.
why do they have a big combustible pit so close to the hive?
That's where the remember the naturally occurring non-hydrocarbon fuel sources?
All right.
You know, like the kind that blew Max's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about that.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, and they probably natural deposit, and they probably use it. Well, you probably don't have to heat the hive because all the bee activity, but maybe when it gets cold enough, they kick that off.
Oh, the Langstroth matriarchs.
Boudoir.
Boudoir.
Party patio.
Office.
I think we may have to change the name here. The human sleeping quarters, Hall P, where P stands for pod.
Yeah.
More sense to call that Manly P Hall.
No.
It is. It may be called that unofficially by some of the drones of the hive, but it is officially known as Hall P.
I just don't want Manly P anywhere near me.
Well, that tells me something interesting.
Yeah. All right, so that gives us...
Classify that.
We have a lovely set of locations. And that's awesome. That gives us some fantastic setup here.
I'm